you. Namaskar. Most respectable Chancellor Dr. Sangra Sastri, Vice Chancellor Dr. Rudra Pratap. We had great connections professionally, officially. Chairman of the Board of Trustees, one of the most respectable personalities, Sri Neeraj Agarwal ji, Deans, Program JS, faculty and staff members of Plaksha University, proud parents, and most importantly, the degree receiving students. Very good morning to all of you. First of all, let me, on behalf of the Department of Space and the space community of the country, and on my own behalf, let me extend a warm greetings and congratulations to the graduating students of 2025 of this university, that is the first batch graduating students. I feel really happy and honored to be with you on this most significant moment of one of the happiest day of the students who are going to receive your degrees today. I understand that Plaksha University is such a university, not like any other university. There is a unique difference. Also, it is a unique temple of learning located in this beautiful 50-acre campus at Mohali. I have crossed this area a number of times, always read only the board. For the first time, happened to come inside. To understand the university, hardly 5 minutes is only required. The type of cleanliness, the type of neatness, the type of punctuality, everything speaks volume of this institute. I am so happy and privileged to be the chief guest, for the first convocation of a great temple of learning. This university is something unique, and it is a really honor for me. I told the word unique about this university as I see and feel so many first of its kind proactive characteristics in this university. It is really great to have an education institution founded by first generation technology entrepreneurs, business leaders and corporates. It really aims to make our nation as a global leader in innovation and learning. You have laid out a really good vision document which includes transformation of youth into problem solvers and fearless through academic pursuit and cutting-edge research. I have just glanced through the academic profile of the professors here, and really outstanding faculty members you have. I don't know how you have selected these outstanding faculty members. Generally, any convocation, there will be two portions generally the students don't like. First is the Vice Chancellor's annual report. Generally, I was also a student. I attended the convocation. Generally, we don't enjoy much. But today, to my surprise, it was made so interestingly with the data, and the entire thing was summarized in maybe 7 to 8 minutes. But it was fully packed knowledge. Let me congratulate the VC for what was done. And the second portion is calling somebody like me, asking to give me a convocation address, that too, in the address any of you to advise the students. Who likes advice? Nobody wants advice. And anyhow, my friend has done a fantastic job, and he has nicely managed Dr. Rudra Pratap. Hope I will try to follow his footsteps, try to do some good justice. Dear friends, I am sure today, when you pass out from this temple of knowledge, a lot of people are responsible for your degree. First and foremost, the parents. The parents, everybody is not economically well off. There are people economically well off, there are people average, but every parents have got only one target: seeing their wards as great leaders in the coming years. So on this occasion, let me congratulate each and every parents for your outstanding contribution for seeing your wards in the present stage. the faculty members. The quality of the education system, the quality of a student cannot be better than the quality of teacher who teaches. And surely, I understand the teaching faculties are outstanding from a little knowledge and background and the way they have participated and everything. On this occasion, let me also congratulate all the teaching faculty members who have contributed one way or the other. More than all these things, you should not forget the people who have really helped, the staff members, the gardeners, the cleaning staff in the hostel. But for them, really, you cannot get a great degree like this. Let me also take this opportunity to congratulate and compliment each and every one. The stars of today's function are no doubt the students who are going to get the degrees. Let me once again take the opportunity to congratulate, greet each and every one of you, also the award winners. No doubt, apart from your hard work, there are a lot of people responsible for your degree. Couple of people I have told, your teachers, the primary school teachers, the high school teachers, the assembly school teachers, the citizens of the common man of the country. You may not be knowing, you should think who are the people responsible for your degree. The common taxpayers of this country, one way or other, from your primary education till today, they have contributed. And this is the time when you pass out from a temple of knowledge like this with an excellent degree. Think about that great source and express your gratitude to that great people. Convocation is one of the most happy occasions in one's life. And now you are entering into the next phase of life. Till yesterday, you were enjoying a carefree life. Somebody was funding, somebody was teaching, and whenever you want to study, you used to study. Whenever you feel bored, you didn't study. But then, now, you are entering into a next phase of life. And you have to be a highly matured, responsible, and whatnot. A different type of life you are going to lead. On this occasion, I wish to reiterate the message of Swami Vivekananda. I quote, "Arise, awake, and stop not till the world succeeds." I quote. Dear friends, actually, I have come from the Department of Space when we are in a very celebratory mood. When we are in the celebratory mood, lot of accomplishments are done. You all know Subhash Chandra. He is the second Indian to go to space and first Indian who was sent to International Space Station and brought back safely. And lot of learning, and this is going to be helpful for our Gaganyaan program. But I also would like to say, we were all there because he is an employee of ISRO, and we have executed based on the direction and guideline of our Honorable Prime Minister. We strongly felt better to send somebody to International Space Station so that experience will be helping us. And you all know he has gone and came back safely. But there are little background stories. Originally the launch was targeted on 11th June. And 9th, we were discussing about the rocket health. And everything was told, everything is in order, and launch was cleared. It was on 10th morning I came to understand there was a leakage problem in the rocket. And with my 40 years of experience in the propulsion development, we know with a leakage, we cannot allow the rocket to lift off. Finally, we intervened, the Indians intervened, and the launch was called off. And when everything was verified, there was a crack in the system. And finally, everything was corrected, and we have ensured the safe travel of 4 astronauts. But for that, it would have ended with a catastrophic situation. And I would like to thank the Indian education system, ISRO knowledge, which today ensured even calling off a launch, human spaceflight launch, and ensured safety of the human being to the space. This month, 30th, we had a great occasion. You all may be knowing. Indian space program was started in 1962. 1963, November 21st was the first major milestone for us. We were donated, we got a rocket, tiny rocket from USA called Night-Pace rocket, and payload came from France, and everything was integrated by Indians, and it was launched November 21st, 1963. And when it started to talk about application, exactly 50 years back, August 1st, 1975, at that point of time, people were even questioning in this country why space program is required and why television sets are required for India. This was the thinking at that point of time. And then ISRO demonstrated 2,400 television sets were kept in 2,400 villages of 6 states. And we had to get a satellite signal. Again, it was ATS-6 USA satellite data was brought and it was telecasted simultaneously through 2,400 television sets. And for the first time in the country, a mass communication through the satellite is possible. That was demonstrated. From that, our application started. And a country which was getting a donation of a small tiny rocket from USA, getting a satellite signal 50 years back. Today, this year, last month 30th, we had the NISR launch, NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar Satellite launch. One of the important payload called L-band SAR payload was supplied by JPL USA, and S-band SAR payload. SAR payload means it can take photograph all 24 days, all 24 hours, all 365 days it can take photograph, irrespective of whether it is raining, cloud, every situation it can take photograph. That is the SAR payload, one of the payload we developed. The entire satellite bus was realized by India and it was placed in the orbit using Indian rocket, the GSLV rocket. You can understand, 50 years back we were in the almost 60 years behind the developed nation, and today we are rubbing shoulder to shoulder with the developed countries in the space area. And we have come a long way. Dear friends, when you talk about India as a country, you know, 1947 when we got independence, probably you all may not be knowing, but your fathers, parents, they may be knowing. Almost 97.5% people were below the poverty line. When you say poverty line, probably it is an English word. I don't know how many of you really get the feeling of that word. But I understand the feeling of that word. Because I am from a village. When I was studying 5th standard, 6th standard, hardly 50% people in my village only had the opportunity to take food more than one time per day. Average 50% people were taking food only one time per day. This was the situation in most of the villages, most part of the country. That was the situation economically. From that humble beginning, today last 77 years, we have grown and grown. And today, we have bypassed even UK in economically, and we are 4th economic status. What a significant progress it is, the country has grown. When India got independence, you know what is the average life of Indians? Average life of Indians were only 32 years. And 32 years means, you can understand 25 to 40 years is the type of life of Indians, and occupied by deadly diseases and whatnot. Today, I may be very happy, 8 weeks back, the average healthy life of Indian has become from 32 years to 72 years. What type of growth and growth? You take literacy levels. Literacy level was hardly 12% when we got independence. Today it has come to something around 80%. And hardly we had, if my memory is correct, 2,845 primary schools. And today, the number of schools, primary schools, more than 8.4 lakhs, and total number of schools in the country is more than 14 lakhs. And there was no IITs, no IIMs, no institute like the great institute like the Plaksha University, no central university. And our education system was really limping, even though at one point of time, before independence, we were dominating the education level, but then it was limping. And today, we have come a long way. We have established IITs, IISc, and whatnot, NITs, central universities, and private universities like these great universities, stature-wise in par with IIT, NIT, that type of standards. And really, the country has grown. And I am proud alumni of IIT Kharagpur, the first IIT which was started in the country on August 18, 1951. I am proud alumni. Whenever I say I am a proud alumni, it is not because of the IIT academic standard alone. Yes, IIT standards are very high. But you all know, some of you may be knowing, the IIT Kharagpur was started in a place which was 70 kilometers away from Calcutta, the Hijili retention camp. That was the place. You know what is the Hijili retention camp? Our freedom fighters were kept in jail in that forest area. In fact, when I went to IIT Kharagpur for the first time, after getting admission for MTech, when the first day itself I went and saw the place. Please understand, if you are seeing good, if you are not seeing it, if you get the opportunity, go and see. In a forest, there are cells, fully closed, only just 1 month back only I measured the exact dimension, 58 centimeter length and 28 centimeter height only is the opening. And people are put, those who were strong freedom fighters, they were locked in that place. And once you are locked, somebody is locked, they don't know when they will get water, what they will get, nothing. I was told most of the people are to, that is the end of their life. And there is second type of cells, 3 sides closed, 1 side is open. And of course with all iron rods. And when people are put inside, outside full of snakes, forest, everything they are seeing. And night, no light, nothing. You know what type of struggle our forefathers have undergone and got the great independence. It is our responsibility to understand the difficulty of getting the independence and contribute for the great nation. And whenever I go, I don't miss go and stand in front of that place and try to understand and come back with great energy. Now, dear friends, when we got independence in 1950, we were importing food grains. Today, thanks to the entire system, the food grain production has gone up to something around 6-fold. And we are net exporter of food grains. Take the power sector. Hardly out of 6 lakhs villages, only 3,000 villages have the power. In fact, we got in my village power when I was studying only 9th standard. Up to that, we had to study only in the kerosene lamp. That was the situation, but today, all the villages are electrified. That was the growth of the country. Take rail transport, infrastructure, road transport. I think everywhere we have grown. Science and technology, our growth is so significant. You know, when we got independence, we were not having any missiles to overcome it. And today, we have got, probably you can ask why missiles are required. If everybody is good to this country, it doesn't need police stations and judicial system. But wherever human beings are living, everything is integral part we need. But today, we have built a lot of missile system. Take Atomic Energy Department as a department. What impressed me by Atomic Energy Department, you all know they produce nuclear energy, they support. But it is more than that, you can go through a lot of things. Non-power application of atomic systems, curing eye cancer, improving the yield of the seeds, delaying the ripening cycle of fruits, thereby you can export instead of flight by ships. And lot of work they have done. Take CSR labs, there are 34 labs doing outstanding work. Take biotech. You know, the way we can always criticize ourselves, but we also should understand and appreciate ourselves. The way we manage the COVID, that speaks volume. Even developed countries could not manage, and we managed. A 140 crore population managing COVID is something phenomenal. I think the Honorable Prime Minister himself was in the forefront and managing the entire thing. And we have come a long way. When you pass out, in fact, when we passed out at that time, those days, once you complete 10th or 12th standard, every student, if you ask what do you want to become, 95% students will tell only engineering or medicine. But today, that is not the situation. There are a lot of opportunities, plenty of opportunities in the country. You take any sector, infrastructure, administrative sector, every area you have got plenty and plenty of opportunities you can contribute to greater levels. Dear friends, when you pass out from this temple of knowledge, it is also my responsibility to remind you a couple of things. When you come out, take great positions. Already I have told the degree what you are receiving doesn't belong to you alone. There are a lot of stakeholders. I suggest you to give back to the society. When you come out, give back to the society. You should feel that the country is above individual and you should serve the country. Learning should be a continuous process. You know, when you pass out from an institute like this, you may be thinking, mainly toppers. You know, I was a topper all along from 9th, 3rd standard onwards. We think that when you pass out, we know everything under the earth. But fact is something different. And a graduate who is passing out today doesn't read tomorrow will not be considered as a educated graduate day after tomorrow. Please understand that. So learning must be a continuous process. There is a Tamil saying, "Kattadu kai mannalavu, kalladadu ulagalavu." What we know, what we learned is equivalent to handful of sand, and what we don't know is equivalent to the universe. That is fact. In fact, I have difference of opinion on this statement itself. What we know is not equivalent to handful of sand, it is equivalent to a dust in the hand. That's what I realize based on my experience. Work hard, work smart, and earn your happiness. And you know, the Wings of Fire autobiography of Abdul Kalam, I have gone through. There is a statement. I quote, "Total commitment is a pivotal quality for those who want to reach the top of the field." I unquote. It is true, I myself have experienced. Develop inner strength of character. Of course, intellectual education influences the mind, whereas the value-based education influences the thought. Unless you have got both, it is of no meaning and no use. A person with high-ranking professional record, without value-based system, he is of no use to the society. I humbly request and suggest the teachers to inculcate both intellectual based education, value based education. Dream game, and achieve great things. Be imaginative, innovative, and creative. You should have got self-confidence. That is what is my experience. Everything we can achieve. When there is a problem, don't think that you cannot achieve. Please take a oath that you can achieve. You can achieve. Teamwork is a very important thing. Above all, you should be a very good human being. There is a Tirukural in Tamil. I quote, "Vellattanedu malarnittam maandradam ullattanedu uyaru." The meaning is, in a pond, the stem length of lotus is decided by the depth of water. Same way, the growth of a human being is decided by your cost, how good you are, that decides. I strongly believe in that. To grow as a good human being is not the only knowledge which decides. Coming to ISRO, as I told, we started our program. There are so many departments which are doing fantastically well, and ISRO is one of the departments we are doing outstanding. And I'm extremely happy that your VC, when he made openly, his first grant came from ISRO. I'm very, very happy and proud to stand here as a ISRO person. And that too, we have supported, ISRO has supported a great person today. Probably at that point of time, nobody would have thought that we going to contribute and go to this level. And probably gravely, rightly decided. And, 1969, August 15th, ISRO was formed. And when ISRO was formed, we were 60 years behind the advanced countries. 1969 was a very, very important year for the scientific community, because that was the year Neil Armstrong landed safely on the moon and came back safely. At that point of time, just we have entered into the space area. We are truly 60 to 70 years behind advanced countries. And 1969 is also a very important year for me, because I was sitting in the first standard. My entire primary school was, the size of the school was less than this stage, maybe 75% of the stage only. I was sitting there. And that day was a very enjoyable day because our teachers were not teaching. They were going with some small radio set and they were going around here and there, and we were not going from village, what you know. And we were enjoying because they were not teaching. And finally they came and they told that probably looks like man has landed safely on the moon. This was the announcement. And from that area, today, we have come a long way. We have come a long way. And to our credit, 4,270 rockets have been lifted off from Indian soil. From that, almost 80% of this. And it was 1979, the first launch vehicle was lifted off. The project director was none other than APJ Abdul Kalam, and the chairperson was at that point of time one of the great person who was also the IAC director, Professor Satish Dhawan. Because it is not only the project director, it's a team which matters. And the mission could not be succeeded. And 1980, we had the first rocket launch, successful rocket launch, placing just 35 kg in the orbit, when the world capability was 125 ton placing in the orbit. You can understand what was the stature difference. From that humble beginning, we have come a long way. This year, I took over, after 41 years of service, I took over as the chairman of ISRO, Secretary Department of Space, on January 13th, January 29th. We had an important event. That was the 100th launch. You know, first launch we could not fully accomplish, and 100th launch we wanted success. And we were confident, we have worked for that, and today it is history. The 100th launch was the perfect success, and we have written the golden letters of Indian history. The 100th launch was success. In the area of satellite, till 1970 we were not having great knowledge. 1970, the first Aryabhatta satellite, April 1975, the first Aryabhatta satellite with the support of other countries we built and placed in orbit. And from that humble beginning till today, we have conceived and built 133 satellites. Out of that, almost 90% are placed in the orbit. And the heaviest being is the 6,000 kg high throughput GSAT-11 communication satellite. Currently, it is in the orbit working for the nation. And a country which was not having satellite technology up to 1975, to our credit, 434 satellites of 34 countries we have placed in the orbit using our own launches from India. And all these satellites and launches are for what? For bringing advanced technology benefits to the common man of the country. And today, if I have to talk about, this is not the forum to talk about the application benefit. There are 55 areas. First and foremost, I want to tell recent Sintur you all may be knowing. And we have contributed equally, shoulder to shoulder, in ensuring safety and security of every citizens of the Bharat during that operation through whatever way possible. And we are serving the country in telecommunication, television broadcasting, weather forecasting, disaster warning and mitigation, navigation area, strategic application, real-time connecting the trains, real-time connecting the automobiles, monitoring potential fishery zone and informing the people. And there are a lot of applications. And in a lighter vein, we used to say, for people to understand the space application, better to switch off the satellites one day evening, 5 hours. If you switch off, everybody will be in trouble. You know, right now, when there was a time people move with a lot of money, I have come and having only an ATM card, not even 1 paise in the packet. And if the satellites are switched off, you know what will happen. No transaction can take place. No ATM transaction will take place. And television broadcasting, very simple application. 40 years back, you know, you all know there was a program called Chitraka. I know there should be knowing. Every Friday you get 5 songs. And people used to wait for that moment to see the songs. If you miss, you have to wait for one more. And today, is it that situation? What things are there? Telecommunication. Telecommunication, if 35 years back, if you have to make a phone call from here to Delhi, probably the elders belongs to the place, this place, may be knowing the difficulties. Why? When I went for IIT Kharagpur for my MTech to make a phone call, it takes 3 hours. You have to go to the trunk booth and wait, book. Not like other countries, not like developed countries. And then the problem is when you get the connection, there will be lot of people on the queue. Within 2 seconds, 2 minutes, sometimes the connection will get disconnected. Once you get disconnected, you have to go back in the queue to get a connection. This is the situation today. Disaster warning and mitigation, lot of application. You know, when there was a time, lot of people used to use, but today, fairly it is reduced. And receiving somebody in the train, coming by train, you know, I have experienced. You have to go to the railway station because one letter would have come long back. Somebody is traveling. After going the railway station, only you will come to know the railway department will announce that the train is 2 hours late. Then you have to wait. After 2 hours, another announcement, another 2 hours late. Like that you have to sit there. But today that is not the situation. Real time we are monitoring at least 8,700 trains. And we are going to monitor entire trains maybe within 2 years. And like that, lot of applications. And in the initial phase, you know, when we were building the rocket, probably elders may be knowing, you can Google and understand. The rocket parts used to be tied in bicycles and moved for launch. Not new bicycles, old bicycles. And from that bicycle era, we have come along. Today, 9 places we are number 1 in the world. From that cycle era, and one of the satellites, Apple, for a test, it was taken by bullock cart. From that bullock cart and bicycle era, we have come a long way. Chandrayaan 1, along with USA, we found water molecule on the moon, and we are a proud country to find water molecule on the moon. Chandrayaan 2, we are having an orbiter, now also working, it was designed for 1 year. You know, the best camera available on moon belongs to whom? That belongs to India. And 32 centimeter resolution camera. And the best camera is ours and the best photography is ours. Mars orbiter mission, we have to travel 69 crore kilometers and accomplish that mission. Till today, India is the only country and first country accomplished a Mars orbiter mission in the first attempt. None of the other countries could do the first attempt. Russia, which placed the first satellite in the 1957, had a record of placing 37 satellites through a single rocket. We all debated, discussed in Thiruvananthapuram how to become number 1 position. A decision was taken, we will place 100 satellites to break the record of world record. And placing 100 is easy, but it should not collide each other. And it is a world record that India placed 104 satellites successfully in the orbit and broken the 37 satellite record, and we are holding the record for a long time. Chandrayaan 3, we are the fourth people to land on the moon surface. And India is the first country to land near the south pole of moon. And we are having that world record today also. And you know, the propulsion technology, the rocket engine technology, the cryogenic rocket engine is one of the very, very important technology which is required. For taking satellite to the space, human being to the space, we have to develop engine system. The engine functionally, it is nothing different from car engines. You know, car in Mohali road, you know what will be the speed of the car. Maybe 100 to 120 km per hour is the type of speed. Now, for placing Chandrayaan 3, we have to give 37,000 km per hour speed we have to give. 37,000 km per hour, again 120 km per hour speed of the car. And one of the best technologies, liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen engine technology. The entire world denied the technology in the early 90s to us. And at that point of time when I am completing MTech in cryogenic engineering, joining back ISRO. Today, dear friends, there are 3 propulsion systems we have made, India has developed, and we are one among 6 countries having that complex technology. Not only that, the second system when we developed, I was so blessed to be the project director towards the last 5 years, 6 years time frame. And we have made 3 world records. We are number 1 in 3 places, a technology which was denied to us. With just 3 engines you have succeeded. The minimum time you have taken from engine test to flight, 28 months, against other countries of 34 months to 68 months. And a stage test where we have to use 5,000 kg of hydrogen, we have accomplished in 34 days. The world record average time is 6 months and minimum time is 68 days. And I used to make a statement, this record cannot be broken by any country, even next 50 years, this cannot be broken because we have taken such a risk and we have done. And this year, we have done the space docking. Space docking. You can visualize, assume 2 cars are going in Mohali road with 100 km/h speed, and these 2 has to be connected together without stopping. You can understand, how difficult it is. And 28,400 km/h, 2 satellites are rotating, and we have to softly connect. This job is done this year, January 16, by India, and India is one among 4 countries having that complex technology with us. And India is one among 4 countries having a satellite called Aditya alone to study the sun, and we are having almost 20 terabit data of sun. And Honorable Prime Minister has given a lot of directives, lot of vision. We are working on our Gaganyaan program, and Gaganyaan program is to taking our own brother or sister by our rocket to space and bring them back safely. We are working on the Chandrayaan 4. Chandrayaan 4 is not like Chandrayaan 3 to take sample from moon and bring back. And we are going to build our own space station by 2035. India is working based on the direction, configuration study for taking Indians to moon and bring them back safely by 2040. And dear friends, a country, and in the space sector reform, today, commercially we are doing a lot of activities. 6 months, a country which was 70 years behind, we had the Axiom program, we sent through the collaboration with NASA, we sent our own Sukhalaji to space and brought him back. NISR satellite we accomplished. In another 4 months, we are going to launch a 6,500 kg communication satellite built by USA using our launcher from India. That is targeted in another 3-4 years. And in another 3-4 years, we are going to build, right now 56 satellites are in the orbit serving the common man of the country. We are going to build at least 155 to 200 numbers in another 3 to 4 years. And like that, if you take every department is doing outstanding work. And when you come out, today we are all working for the Viksit Bharat 2047 based on the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister. Making a country, developed country is not that easy. In fact, I used to think whether our country will become a developed country. And list, if it has to be done, what are the things has to be done? And one of the good things what you have seen in your campus is cleanliness. First and foremost, that is a clean. You go to any village, any city, we talk about a developed country status, but then there is no cleanliness. But today, at least, thankful to your management that you are doing, that inculcating, by maintaining this one, the entire student goes with that mindset. When they occupy tomorrow's senior positions, they will ensure everything is done. Health sector, I used to say whenever I address, when we celebrate 100 years of independence, average healthy life of Indians should become 100 years. Average life is not sufficient, then it will be a burden to the country. Average healthy life has to go to 100 years. And infrastructure, lot of development has to take place. Rail transport, road transport, science and technology. When we talk about greatness of our things, but we also understand the weakness of us and correct everything. And you have got great opportunity to contribute to make this country a state developed country. Dear friends, on this occasion I would like to say another 1 or 2 points. There is a great saying. When people with great minds, in fact, I have experienced. I went to a school in Trivandrum to assess whether that is the right school to admit my daughter first time. When I went, St. Thomas School, within 2 minutes, I decided that she will be admitted in the school. Reason is very simple. There were a lot of couplets. And one of the couplets which touched me was, that was just in front of the principal's room. People with great mind when they meet. People with great mind when they meet, they discuss about ideas. People with low mind when they meet, they discuss about others. This was the statement. You know how IAC has taken birth? Today IAC has taken birth because two people with great heart and mind, the Tata ji and Swami Vivekananda, when they were traveling, they discussed about great idea. That is the reason for the birth of that institute. So I humbly suggest and request, we are all human beings, sometimes we discuss little bit about others. Doesn't matter, little bit is okay. But you should discuss about ideas for contributing for this country. And dear graduates, when you pass out from this institute, you should know, you should always be writers in the heart, which leads to beauty in the character. And beauty in the character brings harmony in the home. And harmony in the home leads to order in the nation. And order in the nation leads to peace in the world. You should know. And Indian space program, there was a time we were working for the common man of India. But today we are not working only for the common man of India, we are working for the global citizens of the world. For example, we are building a G20 satellite for monitoring the earth, for understanding the air pollution, for understanding the disaster related aspect, and we are going to donate the satellite to the G20 countries. And we have built a satellite called SARC satellite, based on the direction of our Prime Minister, and we have donated to South Asian countries. So today, a country which started with bicycle era, building for our own citizen, and we are working as a global, for the global community. And dear friends, the most beautiful thing in the world is seeing your parents smiling. Seeing your parents always smiling. And knowing that you are contributing or you are the reason behind that smile. And ensure that when you pass out, you wherever you take the assignment, you may be in India, you may be in abroad, doesn't matter. Ensure the parents are taken care. Always have a balanced life between professional and personal life. In fact, couple of senior people, when India got independence, our situation was a little different. Probably would have a little more put tilted towards the professional career. But today things are different, so have a balanced life between personal and professional life. Once again, my congratulations to each and every graduating students. Let me pray the Almighty to cover the blessing on all of you. And I am sure you will contribute for making this country as a developed country before we celebrate 100 years of independence. Thank you. Jai Hind.